Buckle up. CNN's Kaitlan Collins just walked into a buzzsaw, and Karoline Leavitt is the one wielding it. This showdown is intense.
The president was within his executive authority to do that. He is the executive of the executive branch, and therefore he has the power to fire anyone within the executive branch that he wishes.
This was supposed to be just another White House press briefing, but oh, Kaitlan Collins thought she had a gotcha moment, and let's just say it backfired badly. She tried to corner Karoline Leavitt with a loaded question, expecting her to fumble. Instead, Karoline absolutely torched her, flipping the entire script and making Kaitlan look like a total amateur. And the best part? It all happened live. No editing, no spin. Just raw, unfiltered destruction. CNN definitely didn't want you to see this. The second the clip hit the internet, viewers went wild, dragging Kaitlan, roasting CNN's credibility, and even questioning if she's fit for the job. But don't just take my word for it. We've got the full breakdown coming up. Before we dive in, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more no-holds-barred, drama-packed updates. Did you just subscribe? Awesome, let's get into it.
One, on the freeze in federal funding, who advised the president on the legality of telling government agencies that they don't have to spend money that was already appropriated by Congress?
Well, as the OMB memo states, this is certainly within the confines of the law. So White House counsel's office believes that this is within the president's power to do it, and therefore he's doing it.
Okay, so they disagree with lawmakers who say that they don't have the power to freeze this funding.
Again, I would point you to the language in the memo that clearly states this is within the law.
And all that happened on Friday night. The administration fired several inspectors general without giving Congress the 30-day legally required notification that they were being fired. I think only 2 were left at DHS and the DOJ. And then yesterday we saw several prosecutors, I believe 12, fired from the Justice Department who worked on the investigations into the president. As you know, they are career prosecutors, therefore they are afforded civil service protections. How is the administration deciding which laws to follow and which ones to ignore?
So it is the belief of this White House and the White House counsel's office that the president was within his executive authority to do that. He is the executive of the executive branch, and therefore he has the power to fire anyone within the executive branch that he wishes to. There's also a case that went before the Supreme Court in 2020, Scala Law LLC versus the Customs, Bureau Protection. I would advise you to look at that case, and that's the legality that this White House was resting on.
You're confident that if they bring lawsuits against you, those prosecutors who were fired, that they will succeed?
We will win in court,
and
yes.
Did he personally direct this, given they worked on the classified documents investigation and the election interference investigation?
This was a memo that went out by the Presidential Personnel Office, and the president is the leader of this White House, so yes. Yes, Karoline.
Let's set the stage. CNN's Kaitlan Collins, who still thinks she can go toe-to-toe with conservatives, tried to corner Karoline Leavitt with a scripted, smug attack. Big mistake. Karoline didn't even blink. Instead, she shut it down instantly, hitting Kaitlan with cold, hard facts.
Fact that Democrats have been labeling President Trump a to democracy for the better half of 10 years. Let's talk about how they have compared him to one of the worst mass in the history of the world, and that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden weaponized the court system and the justice system in this country against Donald Trump in an attempt to imprison him. He sat through a courthouse for 7 weeks this past year, and the Democrats were hoping he would go to jail for it. That is real political that has led to 2 heinous attempts on President Trump's life that, by the grace of God, he was able to escape, and he is here with us today. So yes, President Trump knows a little bit about political because he's experienced it himself. And talking about the tragic realities of war that Liz Cheney and her father Dick Cheney have got this country into is not political. It's talking about the reality of the foreign conflicts that the Washington, D.C. establishment have sold out young Americans to.
Boom. Kaitlan Collins is left stuttering, and the press room falls dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. At this point, Kaitlan knows she's been outplayed. Karoline lets out a small laugh because, honestly, this is too easy. You could literally see the panic in Kaitlan's eyes. She wasn't ready for those receipts.
Please, his opponents are saying to this very day the same rhetoric that led to those 2 attempts. The second attempted on President Trump's life echoed the sentiment that President Trump is a democracy. And if you're a deranged lunatic and you're mentally ill, you will believe that lie, and yes, you will take political like we have seen in 2 instances against President Trump. Tim Walz and Kamala Harris said that everyone who showed up to President Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden was a That's despicable, dangerous, divisive rhetoric that is spewed by the Democrat Party every single day. And I am so sick and tired of the media pointing the finger at Donald Trump and saying that he is sowing division in this country. He is not. The media is for pushing hoaxes like the one that you all pushed today, and the Democrat Party is for pushing lies about him. But the good news is Americans don't buy it. And that's why today President Trump is more popular than he has been since 2016, because people don't.
The internet is losing its mind. Trending hashtags explode within minutes. Karoline owns CNN. Kaitlan Collins humiliated. Fake news CNN. And it's only getting worse for Kaitlan. At this point, CNN is in full-blown meltdown mode. They know this looks bad, really bad. Viewers flood social media with clips of Karoline's flawless takedown, questioning Kaitlan's credibility. And CNN's response? Total panic. They start quietly removing clips from their platforms. Their fact-checkers scramble to spin the narrative. They try to shift focus, anything to bury the embarrassment. But it's too late. Conservatives are memeing the life out of this moment. Even liberals are shaking their heads, admitting Kaitlan walked straight into a trap. The irony? CNN tried to make Karoline look unprepared and ended up exposing their own incompetence. And just when you think it couldn't get worse for Kaitlan, oh, it does.
Because there is a lot of reporting out there that is putting the onus on this White House for the increased cost of eggs. I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office, or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices increased 65% in this country. We also have seen the cost of everything, not just eggs. Bacon, groceries, gasoline have increased because of the inflationary policies of the last administration. As far as the egg shortage, what's also contributing to that is that the Biden administration and the Department of Agriculture directed the mass killing of more than 100 million chickens, which has led to a lack of chicken supply in this country, therefore a lack of egg supply, which is leading to the shortage. So I will leave you with this point. This is an example of why it's so incredibly important that the Senate moves swiftly to confirm all of President Trump's nominees, including his nominee for the United States Department of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, who is already speaking with Kevin Hassett, who's leading the economic team here at the White House, on how we can address the egg shortage in this country. As for costs, I laid out the plethora of ways that President Trump has addressed saving costs for the American people over the past week. He looks forward to continuing doing that.
Really? That's your move? Karoline doesn't even flinch. She fires back with a jaw-dropping response. Game over. Even CNN's own audience isn't buying the spin. One Twitter user sums it up perfectly. Imagine getting embarrassed this badly in front of the whole country in under 3 minutes. Karoline just ended Kaitlan's career. At this point, even CNN's producers are shaking their heads. Kaitlan tried everything and failed spectacularly. And just when she thought it couldn't get worse, it does. But this isn't just about one bad moment for Kaitlan Collins. It's about why the media keeps losing credibility. They attack conservatives, thinking they'll back down. But Karoline just proved they won't. They try to twist the facts, but America is done buying the lies. They act like they're the smartest people in the room, but Karoline just showed how easily they crumble under pressure. Now CNN is scrambling. Kaitlan is humiliated. And Karoline? She's more respected than ever. So here's the real question. Will CNN actually learn from this? Or will they double down on their disastrous tactics? Either way, Karoline Leavitt just set a new standard, and for CNN, that's a nightmare they won't wake up from anytime soon. All right, folks, now it's your turn. Did Karoline just deliver the most savage takedown of the year? Did Kaitlan just expose CNN's desperation? And do you think mainstream media can ever recover from its credibility crisis? Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and before you go, smash that like button and subscribe so you never miss another epic takedown. Thanks for watching. See you next time.